The dim light of a phone screen casts a soft glow on Luke's face, revealing a faint smile amidst a deeper sorrow. Endless reels of curated joy flash before his eyes, yet the hollowness within him deepens. A voice cuts through the silence. Isn't it weird how you can be connected to thousands of people, yet feel like not one of them would notice if you disappeared? In the solitude of his room, Luke's face darkens as he endlessly scrolls, each post a reminder of his growing isolation. He freezes. A story of his classmates flashes across the screen, the unspoken words of exclusion cutting deep. You get likes, you get views, you get comments. But when was the last time someone texted you just to ask if you're okay? He glances at his own story, a perfectly staged beach selfie, a mask concealing the truth. The truth? He was alone on that trip. No one knew. Luke's room buzzes with digital applause, each notification a hollow echo in his solitude. 12 people liked your story. New follower. At DreamGirlXox. Your reel reached 0 views. He sighs, the digital validation failing to fill the void. Why do I feel so alone when I'm never really alone? With newfound resolve, Luke silences the digital noise, turning his phone face down, seeking solace in the darkness. Luke is sitting alone at a crowded lunch table. A sea of bent heads and glowing screens surrounds him. A fleeting smile graces Luke's face as his latest reel gains views, a momentary reprieve from his solitude. Luke's disappointment deepens as he glances around the table, the silence broken only by the incessant bing of digital notifications. Amidst the digital chaos of Jordan's live stream, the dorm room pulses with animated chatter and virtual applause. Luke retreats into his own world, earbuds firmly in place, a lone figure seeking solace from the digital storm. The glow of Luke's laptop illuminates his face, starkly contrasting his quiet solitude with Jordan's vibrant online persona. In the dim glow of his laptop, Luke's fingers dance across the keyboard, each keystroke a desperate attempt to connect. But the hollow replies, a skull, a mocking laugh shatter his hope, leaving him exposed and raw. The laptop shuts with a snap, plunging Luke into darkness. Isolation envelops him like a suffocating shroud, as his gaze drifts into the abyss beyond the window. In the stark bathroom light, Luke confronts his reflection, his eyes betraying exhaustion. The curated perfection of his social media profile flickers across his face. A sigh escapes him, a silent acknowledgement of the dissatisfaction within. Amidst a landscape of takeout containers and discarded clothes, Luke sits on his bed, his attention divided. On the screen, Sarah's animated recounting of her day is juxtaposed with Luke's distracted gaze, a subtle twitch betraying his anticipation. Sarah's bright expression slowly fades, replaced by a dawning awareness of Luke's hollow responses and lack of genuine engagement. Luke sits alone in the sun-drenched cafe, his anxiety palpable as he fidgets with his phone. 30 minutes crawl by as Luke's anticipation fades, his silent question hanging in the air. Where is she? Did I get stood up? Sorry, can't make it. Something came up. Luke's face falls as he reads the message. Then, with a resolute swipe, he deletes the app, severing the connection. In the bustling lecture hall, Luke's eager anticipation hangs in the air as the professor's question sparks a flurry of thoughts. The professor's dismissive glance stings as another student receives the spotlight, leaving Luke's outstretched hand to slowly fall like a discarded hope. Beneath the desk, Luke seeks solace in the digital world, his whispered words a lament. Online, I matter. Offline, I'm invisible. Luke walks alone across campus, a solitary figure amidst a sea of students absorbed in their digital worlds. He takes a selfie, attempting to capture the essence of city vibes, craving acknowledgement in the endless stream of likes and comments. At a crowded party, Luke stands isolated, watching as others bond in group photos, excluded from their shared moments. In the dim glow of the screen, Luke sits alone, seeking connection in the digital void. His voice cracks with desperation. Do any of you actually care who I am? Or is it just content for your scroll? The chat responds with indifference as one viewer types, L bro. Amidst towering stacks of books, Luke sits immersed in his research, his brow furrowed in deep concentration. Despite being the most connected generation in history, Gen Z reports the highest levels of loneliness, depression, and anxiety, Luke mutters, his voice barely audible. A bitter realization crosses Luke's face as he whispers, "You know what's funny? People follow you. They like your stuff. But the moment you stop posting, they forget you existed." On the chilling balcony, Luke pulls his hoodie up, seeking warmth, his gaze fixed on the phone screen. His thumb hovers over a name, hesitates, then retreats, a silent battle of hope and fear. "I have no idea who to call. Isn't that crazy?" Luke mutters, his voice swallowed by the night as he stares into the endless sky. In the solitude of his dimly lit dorm room, Luke's face is illuminated by the cold glow of his laptop. Frustration mounts as he deletes his work, slamming the laptop shut, the abrupt silence echoing his isolation. Lost in thought, Luke lies back on his bed, staring into the abyss of the ceiling, the silence amplifying his solitude. Luke sits alone at his birthday table, the flickering candles painting shadows across his face. The half-eaten cake sits before him, a stark reminder of his solitude as his parents' argument echoes through the thin walls. In the dimly lit room, Luke stares at the candles, a profound mix of sadness and resignation etched on his young face. A gentle knock breaks the silence, unanswered. As Luke remains still in his room, the door slowly creaks open, revealing Ethan, his older brother, a party hat clutched in his hand. Ethan's face is etched with sympathy and helplessness as he silently places the crumpled hat on the nearby table. In the dim light of his childhood bedroom, Ethan nudges the cake towards Luke as shadows dance to the rhythm of distant fighting. Ethan's gentle prodding is a silent encouragement. "Make a wish, bro." Luke's voice cracks with a sorrowful plea. "I just wish people would stop fighting." Luke navigates the crowded hallway, his notebook a shield against the boisterous world. His sanctuary turns into a stage for ridicule, as classmates mockingly read his poem, "I'm drowning in silence." The final act of cruelty. His words, once a solace, are now crumpled and discarded. LMAO, who writes this emo crap? In the quiet solitude of his dimly lit bedroom, Luke's face glows with the light from his laptop as he embarks on a digital journey. As Luke's follower count soars, a genuine smile lights up his face, a rare moment of pure happiness. Now 16, Luke's fingers fly across the screen, compulsively seeking the validation of his 50 followers. Luke's face glows in the dim light of his room, the phone screen reflecting in his wide, questioning eyes. He erases his digital past, deleting every trace, as if trying to shed an old skin. He stares intently into the camera, his face a mask of studied perfection. In the softly lit therapy office, Luke sits defeated, the darkness under his eyes stark against his pale skin. Dr. Reed gently probes, "You say you feel invisible, Luke, but online you're extremely visible. What's missing?" Luke's voice cracks with vulnerability. "They like what I show them, not who I am." In the dimly lit living room, Luke stands stiffly, the silence amplifying the emotional chasm between him and his mother. Luke breaks the silence, his voice tinged with uncertainty. "Mom, do you think people really know me?" Sarah's attention remains fixed on her laptop screen, her response detached. "You have thousands of followers, Luke. You're doing fine." Luke stares at his computer screen, the word "seen" burning into his mind. "I thought you were different," Luke whispers, his voice barely audible in the sterile room. In the darkness, Luke posts a black screen with a stark message. "Maybe the problem is me." Luke sits alone, a solitary figure amidst the lively cafe, nursing his coffee. A wave of wistful longing washes over Luke as he watches the couples, lost in laughter and connection. Disgust flickers across Luke's face as he abruptly closes his phone, the weight of isolation pressing down on him. Luke sits alone on his bed, lost in the silent company of old photo albums, each page a whisper of times long past. A childhood birthday captured in faded colors reveals a solitary figure, a strained smile masking an untold story, as a tear silently traces the contours of Luke's face. In an act of quiet rebellion, Luke deletes carefully constructed selfies from his phone, erasing the curated facade he presents to the world. In the dim light, 9-year-old Luke stands before a small birthday cake, his young eyes filled with a fragile hope. His smile fades as he scans the empty room, the flickering candlelight casting shadows on his face as a tear traces a lonely path down his cheek. He exhales, extinguishing the candles. The smoke curls into the silent air, a metaphor for lost dreams. In the present, Luke, now an adult, sits in the same aged apartment, his eyes reflecting the same lingering pain. In the dim solitude of his bedroom, Luke embraces a digital detox, his space now a sanctuary of analog reflection. Pen meets paper as Luke rediscovers the lost art of journaling, each word a step away from the digital noise. He pauses, inhales deeply, and savors the newfound tranquility. The unplugged ring light, a silent testament to change. In a circle of folding chairs, young adults gather, phones silenced, their attention focused inward. Luke breaks the silence, his words hanging in the air as he shares his realization. I used to think being lonely was the problem, but I realized I was chasing attention, not connection. A small smile and a nod ripple through the group, a silent affirmation of shared understanding and newfound connection. Luke and Jason sit in companionable silence, the steam from their untouched coffee mingling in the air. Jason breaks the silence with a warm laugh, exclaiming, "Yo, you're actually funny in real life, bro." Luke responds, a poignant mix of relief and vulnerability in his voice. You have no idea how long it took to feel that again. In the dim light of his bedroom, Luke sits on his bed, the glow of his phone casting shadows across his face. A wave of disillusionment washes over Luke as he pauses on a reel, its message echoing in the silence. Luke begins to record a new video, his face bathed in natural light, unfiltered and raw. Luke sits, his gaze meeting the camera directly, an open honesty etched across his face. His voice resonates with vulnerability. Hey, if you've ever felt alone, even when people like your photos, if you've ever smiled in a story but cried right after, I want you to know you're not broken. You're not invisible. Luke pauses, then continues with newfound conviction. You don't need more likes. You need more real moments. Put the phone down. Text someone first. Show up for real. In the sun-drenched park, Luke and his friends radiate joy as they stroll along the path. Laughter echoes as a frisbee dances through the air, capturing the carefree spirit of the day. Someone exclaims, "Wait, no one's taking a photo of this?" Prompting Luke's response, "That's the point." In a classroom filled with eager minds, Luke stands ready to impart wisdom, his presence commanding yet approachable. Luke shares a profound observation. We live in an age where everyone sees you, but few truly know you. His words resonate deeply as Luke continues. Validation is in connection, and presence is in proximity. Luke's lecture transitions to a heartfelt revelation, his words resonating with newfound depth. I thought I needed to be seen by the world, but what I really needed was to feel seen by just one real person. The room fills with gentle applause, a quiet echo of understanding and respect, then fades, leaving a lingering sense of reflection. Bathed in soft moonlight, Luke lies still in his bed, a sanctuary of quietude. He closes his eyes, surrendering to a tranquility that washes over him. In the stillness, Luke experiences a deep, calming peace, relishing the contentment of solitude and genuine presence. As the setting sun paints the sky, Luke stands on the rooftop, a solitary figure against the fading light. A gentle wind caresses his face, carrying whispers of peace. He gazes at the horizon, lost in a tranquil silence. A cascade of smiling selfies floods the screen, each one a carefully constructed mask concealing Luke's mounting panic attacks. Captions composed in tears transform into perceived art, each like a stroke on a canvas of despair, misunderstood and isolated. The relentless barrage of likes and notifications abruptly ceases, replaced by an agonizing silence that amplifies Luke's solitude. Luke, back on the rooftop, opens his worn journal, its pages filled with unspoken stories. He carefully writes, "Connection is not Wi-Fi. It's being able to sit across from someone and be ugly and honest, and still be held." Luke stares at his words, a faint smile gracing his lips as the city lights twinkle around him. Around the crackling campfire, 6 figures bask in the warm glow, their faces illuminated by dancing shadows. As guitar music fills the air, shared laughter intertwines with the raw emotion of hushed sobs. Luke listens intently, a silent pillar of support, choosing presence over documentation as the firelight dances in his eyes. In the dim solitude of his room, Luke confronts his reflection, a stark contrast to the carefully constructed persona he projects to the world. The silence amplifies the weight of his introspection, as he grapples with the realization that his quest for validation has led to self-obliteration. In a moment of raw honesty, Luke whispers to his reflection, "You're enough, even if no one claps, even if no one likes your post, even if you go unseen, you still matter." In a world consumed by screens, faces glow with digital light as people become lost in the endless scroll. Amidst the digital facade, influencers theatrically shift from tears to smiles, chasing likes and validation. Against this backdrop of digital obsession, Luke walks with newfound peace, unburdened by the need for external validation. Sunlight bathes the community center as Luke gathers with teenagers, their journals scattered like secrets waiting to be told. Sarah's voice trembles, yet her gaze is steady as she shares. "I used to think my worth was based on likes, but now I realize it's about being real." Luke nods, his eyes reflecting a deep understanding as he listens intently, offering silent support. Bathed in the screen's glow, Luke stares intently at the message. The message flashes across the screen. "Hey, your video saved my life. I finally talked to someone. Thank you for being real." A soft smile graces Luke's face as he types, "You did the hard part. Proud of you." Luke walks alone through the night, a smile gracing his face. He passes a group of teens, their laughter echoing in the night. Luke continues on, his steps lighter, his heart full of newfound hope.